Performing a sequence of transformations. When combining transformations, it is very important to consider the order of the transformations. For example, vertically shifting by 3 and then vertically stretching by 2 does not create the same graph as vertically stretching by 2 and then vertically shifting by 3. Because when we shift first, both the original function and the shift get stretched, while only the original function gets stretched when we stretch first. When we see an expression such as 2 times a function f of x plus 3, which transformation should we start with? The answer here follows nicely from the order of operations. Given the output value of f of x, we first multiply by 2, causing the vertical stretch, and then we're adding 3, causing the vertical shift. So in other words, multiplication came before addition. Horizontal transformations are a little trickier to think about. When we write g of x, which is equal to f of 2x plus 3, for example, we have to think about how the inputs to the function g relate to the inputs to the function f. So suppose we know that f of 7 is equal to 12. What input to g would produce the output? So in other words, what value of x will allow g of x to equal f of x, f of 2x plus 3 equals 12? We would need to set 2x plus 3 equal to 7. To solve for x, we would first subtract 3, resulting in the horizontal shift, and then divide by 2, causing the horizontal compression. This format ends up being very difficult to work with because it is usually much easier to horizontally stretch a graph before shifting. So we can work around this by factoring inside the function. So let's work through an example. If we have f of x, which is equal to 2x plus 4 squared, we want to be able to factor out a 2. We can factor out a 2, which becomes 2 times x plus 2 squared. Now we can more clearly observe a horizontal shift to the left 2 units and a horizontal compression of 2. Factoring in this way allows us to horizontally stretch first and then shift horizontally. So whenever we have a scenario where the input looks like the following, if we have a number here of x and then add or subtract anything, we need to factor that number so that we can visually see how it is horizontally compressed and what is the factor that it's allowing to stretch. Now, combining transformations. When combining vertical transformations written in the form a times f of x plus k, first vertically stretch by a and then vertically shift by k. When combining horizontal transformations written in the form of f of b of x minus h, first horizontally shift by h, and then horizontally stretch by 1 over b. When combining horizontal transformations written in the form f of b times x minus h, first horizontally stretch by a factor of 1 over b, and then horizontally shift by h. Horizontal and vertical transformations are independent. It does not matter whether horizontal or vertical transformations are performed first.